Cloaked in the shadows.
Amanda,
Andy,
what are we doing today?
we're doing a very special Cloaked in the Shadows.
Yeah. And what is Cloaked in the Shadows?
It's a podcast where we talk about paranormal and technology and all kinds of interesting topics.
Yeah, and today we're on horror movies, aren't we, among other
Okay.
things? Man's favourite topic. We have a guest as well. We had this lady on last year for our third episode, would you believe? So this is about, I think it's the 36th one now. So we've got the wonderful Kimberley Goldie with us today, a.k.a. the Lancashire Wellness Witch, and among other things. So, hi Kimberley, how have you been keeping since the last time we spoke to you?
I'm good. Yeah, hi Andy, hi Amanda. Thanks for having me back again. Well, I've been good. I've been busy. I've been really busy since we last spoke.
We'll find out in a minute why. But yeah, you have been busy. You impressed me with this one. So, but yeah, I think obviously we need to touch base on obviously your project people know you for first of all from the students in our previous episode.
Yeah.
And obviously we first met you last year for your Lancashire Wellness Witch project, didn't we? So. And I know that's still going strong at the moment as well, doesn't it, to start off with?
Yeah, so I think we met through a mutual friend who did a piece. Katie did a piece in the local paper. Yeah, when I opened the shop in Heywood, the Wellness Witch shop, and then obviously we've spoke about other projects since then. The Wellness Witch is still very much going. I don't have a shop anymore because I felt like the retail side of it wasn't really what I wanted to be doing, and I wanted to focus more on the kind of treatments and kind of hands-on stuff and workshops and that. So. I don't so much do the retail, but everything else is still going strong. Yeah.
Good, yeah. And obviously, we also spoke about, and I forgot the name of this now. What was it? Ghost Encounters Northwest? Have I got that completely?
That's right. Yeah. Well remembered.
Remind memory. That's good going. That one, people. Garbage. Yeah. I know you told us off mic before. You've been a bit quieter that recently, haven't you, as well? So.
Yeah, the team members that we have, as we said, last time we spoke to you, we all have kind of conflicting jobs and shifts and things. So getting together is like really difficult sometimes. And then we had a big move in the plans. Chris and I were meant to be moving away. So we kind of disbanded for a little while, but. Yeah, we're getting back into it. We've got a couple of things in the works that we want to try and do. So we're still there as a team, just not as active as we were last time we spoke.
We'll get you back on again when you get going again. So I know straight away you guys will be up and running again soon or something anyway. So, but yeah, that's nuts and bolts. But we're not here to talk about that today, Kimberley, are we? So, Amanda, would you like to tell everybody what we're here to talk about today?
We're here to talk about Horror Convention.
Yeah, now Kimberley is one of the co-founders. Although what I know you, Kimberley, you probably done most of the work on this. What I know you by now of Heywood Horror Con, which is coming up it's that Sunday the 7th of April. So
that's correct. Yeah.
Tell us about then what's made you want to do this project.
So I'm a long time horror movie fan. Since I was a kid, really. My dad was into all the Hammer horror. Boris Karloff's Mummy and all that kind of stuff. So I've been into that kind of stuff for a long time, and I've worked on projects, other people's horror-themed events and conventions, and things like that. If there's a bit of noise in the background, it's because I'm in the car and Chris has just got in, so that's what you can hear, all the door banging.
Hi, Chris.
So I've having worked on events like that and loving that atmosphere, I knew that there was space for that in our local community, because there's nothing like it near us. Nothing at all. You've got the big conventions in Manchester and Leeds and Sheffield and down in London, but there's nothing local, and nothing at this time of year. The horror stuff, they tend to focus on Halloween for obvious reasons, but I knew there was a market for doing something in the springtime for the horror fans that are horror fans all year round and not just dressing up for Halloween. So yeah, that was where it was born from, really, and it's just been absolutely phenomenal, the amount of response and enthusiasm that we've had for the event. I can't believe it.
Yeah, I noticed I know you're on Bolton FM a couple of weeks ago on this, and I heard about our mutual friend Ruth O'Reilly. She told us how many tickets you've sold now, so you've done really, really well with that.
Yeah, it's just been I can't honestly put into words how amazing the response has been. When you have an idea and you think, I think this could work and I think there's a market for it, but to have that proven so quickly en masse that yes, your idea was a good idea and there is a market there is phenomenal. Yeah, it's really, really impressive. And the community that we've built with the traders and the scare actors and all those people, that people are just coming out of the woodwork, oh, I can do this and I've got this costume and we really want to be involved. And the horror community is such a big fan base, and I think there's no fans like horror fans. They're all, they're so enthusiastic about what they do and what they enjoy. So yeah, it's been awesome.
You've mentioned some of the horror films that you watched, but which is your favourite all-time horror film?
Oh, that is a question and a half, that, Amanda. I don't like to single things out or characters out, but my personal favourite is Jason Voorhees. So any of the Friday the 13th movies are where I'm at on the horror scene. It's kind of what I grew up with, those 80s kind of slasher movies, and yeah, but Jason's the one. If I had to pick a series of horror movies that I could only watch and nothing else, it'd be the Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
What's yours, Amanda?
I'm not sure about the best, but the scariest when I was a child was the Freddy Krueger films. It's just because the idea that someone can get to you in your dreams, and I was terrified he was going to come and get me.
It's terrifying, isn't it?
Yeah. I suppose we better mention next to that, so there is a promotional video knocking around on YouTube, which we saw before, when you said one of your friends in it dressed up as Freddy Krueger to advertise the festival. He was brilliant as well.
Yep.
Tell us about that. Who that was? So
the guy that you've seen in the little promo is a brilliant tattoo artist based in Birkenhead, a guy called Buzz Numinous, and he has been on board since he first found out about it. We have some tattooists attending our event from a studio in Rochdale, Brevity Studio, and so Jonah is friends with Buzz from the tattoo scene, and he said, do you need a Freddy? And I was like, what, you mean like a costume or a guy? And he was like, no, a guy. We know a guy. And I was like, oh yeah, introduce us. And so from the get-go, they've been instrumental in getting some other people on board. But Buzz is so enthusiastic and he's so good at what he does. He's been a lot of fun. He started off a dance-off as well. I don't know if you've seen that video. In the Horror Con group.
Yeah, we're watching that one afterwards, definitely. So
honestly, it started off a whole thing. So he did a video of, what does Freddy do to pass the time while you're all awake? And so he was dancing in the woods. That was his thing. So then dressed as Freddy, and he was moonwalking and all this kind of stuff. And then one of the other guys, one of the other scare actors that's involved, he does this kind of like pig butcher type character, and so he kind of replied with his own video dancing, and then another girl got involved, and yeah, it was this whole thing. It was hilarious.
Completely. Now, I suppose we've got to tell people or make people aware of what's going to be actually on offer in this. So I know, first of all, obviously you've got some photo ops, haven't you? So what plans have you got for the photo ops coming up here then?
Oh, big plans. This is where Chris has really come into his own, because He is my set builder, my prop master, my go-to DIY man. So when I come up with these crazy ideas, let's build something, that people can have the photos on. Let's do a cabin in the woods. He was like, yeah, great idea. So we started building it, and he got a load of wood and broke down some pallets and started building it. And I was like, yeah, it's good, but what if we did the alleyway from Resident Evil, and he was like, okay, so we'll turn it into an alleyway, we'll do that. So we did that, and we did the brickwork, and we did the painting on it, and then I was like, yeah, that's good, it's really good, but what if? What if it was from The Last of Us instead? And he was like, he just kind of stands with a drill in his hand waiting, for instruction, because the ideas just come and the ebb and flow so quickly. But yeah, we've settled on the main set piece that we've got for people to have the pictures taken on is inspired by The Last of Us. So that's the main one, and we've got we're doing a crystal lake. So from Friday the 13th, we've got a big lakeside backdrop with a grass frontage and the crystal lake sign that Chris has built. So yeah, and we've got a couple of other things that I won't give away. But yeah, we've got some really good fun things for people to interact with, to have the pictures took and get those selfies on their socials.
Yeah, there's lots of things going on. Is there anything you want to know, Amanda?
I know you've got like scare actors. Are you encouraging people that attend to dress up as well?
Yeah, so we're actually holding a cosplay contest. So attendees are being encouraged to dress up.
Don't start her on that. We've got 2 or 3 long bus rides.
Do it.
It's a bit far for me having to be dressed up on the bus. If I was closer.
Sometimes you just need that little bit of an excuse, don't you? And a cosplay competition is one of those things. So yeah, we're encouraging even stall holders, traders, vendors, exhibitors to dress up and really get involved. And Chris will be cosplaying as well. So Chris won't be Chris on the day. He will be somebody else, which I'm not going to give away at this moment.
Don't. That's all I'm going to say there. Now, it's also worth noting, I know you've got some independent authors, haven't you, lined up as well for the day as well?
Yeah, super excited about this element of the show. So we met an author at a Comic-Con in Middleton that a friend of ours arranged, and we got chatting. And he's a lovely guy. I bought one of his books, and it was outstanding. It was easily one of the best bits of independent horror that I've read. The book's called The Books of Sarah. So if you get a chance, look him up. He's called James. When I first had the idea of doing it, I was like, okay, so would you be interested in trading and selling your books, and maybe even doing a Q&A for those that are interested in, getting into the independent writing scene? He was like, oh yeah, definitely well up for that. He's a huge horror fan himself. And so he's like, yeah, that's great. And then through him, he mentioned it to a couple of his friends that are authors and got them on board. And then as a result of that, the publishing house that some of them are signed to, it's called Shadow House Press, they were like, well, could we be involved? Could we maybe exhibit? And so yeah, so we've got 4 authors, and we've also got the publishing house that they're involved with. So they'll be on hand on the day to provide just a bit of an insight into the industry. If someone's attending that's got that idea for a short story and they don't know how to get it out there, then the guys from Shadow House Press will be available on the day to talk to them and give them some insider info. So I'm really excited about that, and all the authors are going to do Q&As for us as well, so people will get the opportunity to ask them how they got into the industry, what their influences are, what their favourite stories of their own are, and that kind of thing. So yeah, that's really interesting. I'm super excited about that.
Yeah, and also obviously as well, looking at here, you do have a number of horror themed stalls set up, don't you? With carnival games. Is there anything you can reveal about that?
They are tightly under wraps because we're still in negotiations with the people that are providing them. So yeah, I don't want to say X, Y, and Z is going to be there and then last minute it not be. But yeah, there's going to be plenty to interact with. We've got all the photo ops. We've got some amazing traders. We've actually got a paranormal team coming and doing a display and showing off some of their equipment and talking about their investigations as well. They're called the Boo Brothers, and they're a great bunch of lads based in Chorley. So they're coming for the day, and they'll be on hand to answer people's questions and talk about their best experiences and spookiest stories and stuff. So yeah, there's a lot going on the day. It's going to be excellent.
Sounds it as well. The other thing I want to learn about in this one is obviously you've touched on everything there now. I know you've got another project going that's linked quite nicely into this, haven't you? The Lancashire Wellness Kitchen, which is involving with the food as well in this.
Yeah, that's it. Me and a friend of mine, Shemaine, who I met through doing the Lancashire Wellness Witch, used to come to the shop quite regularly and pick my brains on crystals and herbs and things like that, and we became quite good friends. And she's always wanted to set up a catering company, but a more kind of witchy one, if you like. So food that's based around the seasons and the Sabbats and that kind of thing. And so I said, well, why don't I lend you, the kind of provenance that I've got through the Wellness Witch, and you can be the Lancashire Wellness Kitchen. And it started off as a small project. We've now become business partners, and so we do catering for all kinds of like farmers markets and things like that. But it's all based around seasonal foods and kind of eating better foods and not so much junk food. So the kitchen Shemaine will be running on the day at the event and providing all the food. So yeah, which is a big step because we've always done it together. On market stalls, and this is obviously quite a big event with a few hundred people in attendance, and I won't be there to help serve because I'll be busy doing other stuff. So
I think you'll get called around the place that day, won't you? Literally.
Oh, there needs to be about 5 of me on the day to be able to do everything that I need to do.
Oh, I can believe you in that one completely. So we've got tickets for them. We're well looking forward to this because it's going to be a great day out. This will be completely so. Before we obviously wrap up to tell people how to get tickets and stuff, I know you can believe by now. You have other projects on the go on top of this, won't you? So Is there anything you can reveal that's coming up after this?
We've literally just come back from a meeting this morning with a fabulous woman who runs a local pub in Heywood. She's just took over the Queen Anne, and it's a beautiful old pub, like kind of faux Tudor fronted and that kind of thing. And she's come into the Horror Con. She's a huge horror fan, and she said, you know, I want to be involved. How can we be involved? So we've discussed options that we can do. You know, like an after party maybe on the next big event that I do, and kind of get all the horror fans together in her establishment. She's also very much into the paranormal and very keen to do a ghost hunt there. The pub is reportedly haunted, so we're hopefully going to investigate there as well. She had the brilliant idea of doing some local ghost walks and using the pub as kind of the meeting point and the kind of debrief place afterwards. So yeah, so once we've done Horrorwood on the 7th of April, there's a lot of other things in the works, and I'm hoping to kind of run with this because it's been so popular, and do a series of small kind of alternative gothic markets, because they've got a huge garden at the back of the pub there, so we've got a space we can use. So yeah, there's, you know me, Andy. There's always something. There's always something.
I'm very well up by now. Can do that. We both do. So yeah. Now, obviously, I think we're probably best to make people aware before we wrap up here that you've sold out. Haven't you? Tickets online? Did I read that correctly?
Yeah, you did read that right. So I did like advanced online tickets because I honestly at the time had no clue how popular the event was going to be, and I thought, we'll do online advanced sales just to get some interest out there, and they've all sold out. So working with the capacity that we've got for the venue, there'll be availability on the door, so people can, if they haven't managed to get a ticket online in advance, they can come down on the day and they can pay a £5 on the door and come and join in the fun. But yeah, I couldn't believe how quickly all those tickets sold out. We pre-sales or advanced tickets online, we sold 220 tickets.
Wow, that many.
Yeah, we've got a good whack of people coming, and then there'll be availability on the door as well. So we've got all the traders, we've got 250 people in attendance. We've got a huge costume group. We've got the authors and the Q&As and the paranormal guys. We've got exhibitors from a place down in Stoke, the Museum of Horrors, and they run a haunted museum. They've got artefacts from places that they've been to that they display. So they're going to bring a few bits and talk about what they do and how they came about. And yeah, so it's not just horror movies. It's, there's a lot for the horror fans there because it is a horror convention, and that's where my passion is. But alongside that, I think it lends itself really well to all these other kind of spooky and unusual and weird people that can come and talk about weird things. I think, yeah, it's going to be great. So the doors open at 10. It's Heywood Sports Village on Starkey Street in Heywood. Tickets are available on the door. And just if you're local to the area and you haven't got a ticket, come down on the day and joining in the fun.
Yeah, Dean, if you're not local, come down because it's going to be a great one. We're going to be there. We're not doing anything. We're just coming on to cause havoc and full faces at Kimberley and Chris.
Do you know? It's weird because I've done all the tickets by hand because I'm insane. I like to have a hand in everything I'm doing. So I've literally individually written out all the envelopes for the tickets that I've posted out, and we have seen tickets from as far down as Southampton. People have bought tickets, Scotland, all over the northwest, Cambridge, Birmingham, Stoke. So as much as I wanted this to be a community thing for the people of Heywood, it's well outgrown that. We've got people literally coming from all over the country, and I've got it on good authority. There's a couple of podcasters from somewhere in Manchester popping along as well. I don't know, you might know them.
We might do, yeah. We might do. We might know them, man. Yeah. So no, we'll say nothing else there, right? So, we come incognito. The trouble is, Amanda always says you can hear me coming a mile long.
Yeah. I'm quite short, so I'm difficult to see, but you can hear Andy.
We've got my size, yeah, you usually can, right? So now, obviously, that's the last thing I found, Kimberley, obviously today. If people want to read up more about the con for the actual event, where do you recommend they go?
So there is a group on Facebook. So if you use Facebook and you search up Heywood Horror Con, there will be a group comes up. That's quite a nice little community because it's people not specifically just about the con, but kind of horror in general. There's also, I do have an Instagram, which is under the events company name of Distant Screams. So if you search for Distant Screams, you will find us on Instagram. There's also a Twitter or an X account under the same name, but I don't use it that often. I'll be honest, I'm not great on there. But yeah, if it's got such a good following now that if you just go onto social media and type either Distant Screams events or Heywood Horror Con, you will find us.
Brilliant. Right, we'll let you go. People wonder today, Kim's in a car at the moment, and Chris has pulled in from a not so very supernatural
He is
place.
here.
Not so supernatural place, Chris, is it, Aldi? So we'll let the pair of you go, right? Well, I want to thank you today, Kimberley, and we look forward to meeting you in a couple of weeks' time, definitely. So.
Oh, amazing! Yeah, I can't wait to see you guys, and thanks so much for having me on again, and for all your support in all the other mad projects that I have on the go.
Well, we're no better than you sometimes, you might have guessed, right? So we'll wrap up here, any people wondering. So we're going to chat further to Kimberley and Chris anyway. So thank you, Amanda, and thank you, Kimberley and Chris. We will see Amanda. Take us out.
Cloaked into the shadows.
Cheers.
Cloaked in the shadows.